Hey, house guests! Welcome to today's Big Brother 27 updates and spoilers. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day today. It's eviction day! We're finally getting down to our final three tonight, which is so exciting, isn't it? I'm excited. I'm ready to wrap this baby up. Let's get it done. How's everybody doing today? I see we have Sheena. Sheena says, so excited for tonight's Big Brother episode and also the premiere of The Amazing Race with Big Brother players. I know. That's going to be so much fun. It's such a good group that they put together, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Dawn, hello. Logan says, who's excited for tonight? I am. What time does the show air tonight? I believe it is 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's an hour and a half, and then Amazing Race will be following that. Yes, Middle Yak home stretch. Yes, and Survivor was so fun last night too. I don't know if you guys watched the Survivor premiere. It was a good time. I already have a few people that I'm like, can't do it. Can't. That shoe bandit dude, no, I'm over him already. Get your bromance out of here. But let's talk about Big Brother. Our house guest of the day, we have, this is a new one. We have the Brooks family. It's a family affair. Jason, Brittany, Michaela, Mackenzie, and Jackson. Thank you all so much for watching. We have David Zambrano. Happy belated birthday. I hope it was a wonderful day for you. Karen Brown, thank you for watching. And Rebecca and her houseplants. I love that because I also have a bunch of houseplants since I'm not allowed to have pets. That makes me sad. But thank you all so much for watching along with us this season and seasons past. We appreciate you all, and we could not do this without you. So thank you as always. Let's get into it. When we left off yesterday, we were just waiting. Waiting for something to happen, right? If we look at if we set the table here, Morgan is the HOH and the veto holder. Ava and Ashley are on the block. Morgan is not planning on using the veto, which means that Vince would be casting the sole vote to evict. And he has been planning on voting out Ava. But for now, he's telling her he's 50-50. He's been keeping his true intentions under wraps. He did ask Morgan at one point, like, should we just tell her about the Judges Alliance? Should we just let her know what's going on? And Morgan has told him no. Let's wait until the goodbye messages. Like, let's not mess with things right now. I think maybe you just tell her about the alliance, right? Let her enjoy her last few days, but they're doing the whole I'm 50-50 thing, which is a choice. So Morgan, we talked about this yesterday. Morgan has also been spiraling a bit, not about this eviction, but she is looking ahead to what would happen if she were to win the final HOH, if she's the one deciding who goes to the final two with her. And she's wondering, do I take Ashley or do I take Vince to the final two? What would she do? And the reason why she's freaking out about this is because Ashley has been planting mad seeds, getting into her head. And Ashley's telling Morgan, if the roles were reversed, would Vince take you to the final two? Or would he be afraid that you're going to beat him and he would take me instead? So, like, you really need to think about it. Should you be taking Vince? I know you guys obviously want to get there together on a friendship level or whatever you want to call it. But game-wise, is that the best decision for you? Because against me, you'd win for sure. It's a slam dunk. But it might not be as certain if you're up against Vince. He has done quite a bit more than Ashley in this game. So, yeah, Morgan has really been mulling it over. It seems like she hasn't really come to a decision at this point. I mean, we don't even know if Morgan's going to win that final HOH, but you got to know what you're going to do, right? Ahead of time. So, okay, let's talk more about what happened yesterday. So the house guests were waiting around for the POV ceremony because none of these people know. This traditionally always happens on the live eviction episode right before the eviction. It's supposed to be part of this whole, it's the last veto of the season and there's only one person voting. So they do it right before the vote. But I guess nobody made it that far into whatever seasons they were watching to prepare for this. That's so sad. Ava and Vince were chatting in the living room, and at the time, Ashley and Morgan were actually watching them on the spy screen, and they're like, "I think Ava's talking game. Like Vince is just sitting there listening. Like, what do you think she's saying?" So Vince was like, "I wish we could just get on with this veto ceremony." He says he's nervous. He just wants to lock it in. He wants to make sure that he's going to be safe and he's the one voting. He's like, "I just don't know. I don't know. Like, maybe Morgan's going to use the veto." And Ava's like, "No, I don't think Morgan is going to use the veto. I think you're going to be good. She's not going to cut you now, but at the final three, she says Morgan would choose Ashley over you because she would beat Ashley in a landslide. While I do think she would beat Ashley in a landslide, I just don't know that Morgan would ditch Vince like that. I wish she would, but I don't know that she would." So Ava tells Vince, "If you keep me and I go at final three, like if you cut me at final three, that's totally fine. You know, no hard feelings. I would vote for you to win over Morgan." She says, "Morgan pissed me off when she put me and Lauren up on the block together." She's talking about during the double eviction. And Ava says, "You'll have me voting for you, and I think I can get Will, Lauren, and maybe even Kelly to vote for you to win." So that would be 4 votes. That would be enough for Vince to win this thing. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to tell them that you kept your word to me, blah, blah, blah." I don't think she realizes if you go out in third place, you have like 0 minutes to talk to the jury. Maybe you get to say one word to them during the commercial break. I don't know. But she's not going to have like all this time to convince them to vote for Vince at the last minute. I don't see these people changing their minds just based off of something that Ava said for like 5 seconds. Right? So, yeah, she's saying, "I'm gonna make sure that you get those votes. Morgan forced your hand to put Lauren up on the block, and that was uncalled for." This girl is obsessed with Lauren. Ava is upset that Morgan and Ashley were talking earlier about how Lauren had to go, and they were laughing. And Vince is like, "Yeah, I agree. I don't find it funny either." I mean, he knows his audience, right? He knows he's talking to Ava, so you have to talk about Lauren like she's some saint that was wronged. But again, Ava is promising her jury vote to Vince if he keeps her, and he's all like, "I don't know. I got to think about it. I got to think about it." All right. So after Vince tells Morgan about Ava's pitch while Morgan is in the bathtub. So he left out the part about the jury votes. The only part he was really saying was like, "Oh yeah, she was telling me that she would take me to the end and like you and Ashley would take each other, yada yada yada." But they agree Ava has to go because of her strong social game. She is very close to Will. I was gonna say Ava. She's close to Will, Lauren, Kelly. She's got all these people in her corner. She's too much of a threat to win this whole game. Because who knows if the jury will be voting based on like competition wins, social game, you never know. Are they going to be bitter? So it seemed at that point like things were still on track, and Morgan was not going to use the veto, and Vince was going to vote Ava out. So some other highlights from last night. Vince asked Morgan, "Do you think I'm a loser?" And Morgan like didn't really say anything. She was just quiet. I think she was messing with him, but like, yikes. Also, he was like, "I'm only 1/3 kidding. Like, do you think I'm a loser?" I mean, I don't know about a loser, but like, I don't know. He talks about how this game is his life. He has had a hard time separating game and life, and he says he's really dreading Sunday. You think people would be excited for Sunday, right? Finale, get to go home, see your family and all that. But he's saying, "I don't want to leave and go back to real life." Ugh. And Morgan's like, "Oh, you have so much to look forward to after this. Like, you can have so many different opportunities. You don't know. The fans might love you." And she's asking, "Don't you want to see your family? Don't you want to see your girlfriend Kelsey?" And Vince is like, "I do, but like they're not going anywhere. This is temporary. Like I want to hold on to this." Oof. I mean, his girlfriend, I don't think is his girlfriend anymore. but And Vince is like, all right, I don't want to come off as rude. Like, yes, of course I want to see them, but like, I don't want to leave this house. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life after this. That's rough. It just makes me sad. It makes me sad hearing this. But later, Ava makes another pitch to Vince. This time she is saying, keep me because I need the money more than Ashley. She says Ashley has a 1-bedroom apartment to herself in Manhattan. And I hate this argument. I think this is so annoying when people start to like say like I need the money more in real life and all that stuff. That's not what this is about. But she was apparently upset about something that Ashley said. I'm not sure what the exact comment was, but she was not happy about it. So, some other highlights from last night. Vince was asking Morgan, "Do you really want to sit next to me in the final two? Is that for real?" And she says, "Yes." She would like to. She didn't say she definitely is, but she says she would like to. And she says Ava and Ashley are pushing that it would be a guaranteed win for me if I sit against either of them. But Morgan says that's not even true because Ava and Ashley both have their own arguments that they can make to win, right? Social game, not needing to win competitions, being able to hide behind a shield. I mean, Ashley was a target week 1 and she was able to kind of like creep back under the radar and keep herself safe. Like there's some merit to that, of course. So Morgan is saying those arguments are kind of BS. Like she's not buying into all that. Also last night, Ava was still talking about how Rachel pulled on her arm. Oh my god. When is she going to get over it? When is she going to get over it? We had Vorgan hours last night. More of these two talking in code. Vince wants to know, is this just game or is it for real? Are you into me? Circle yes or no or maybe. And Morgan tells him it's not just game. It's not necessarily romance either from what she said, but it's at least friendship, right? So Morgan asks, is like all this stuff that we've been doing, is it like just a comfort for you or is it more than comforting to you? So eventually he admits it's more than comforting. Oh boy, he says it's way more than comforting and he's like, "Sorry, can't help it. I'll live with it one way or the other. Whether you like me or not. I'm going to have to deal with that." But he wants it known that he is into Morgan. This is so awkward. But yeah, that was all last night. Today, Ava was in a pissy mood this morning. She's sad. She knows that she's going. She's not taking it well. And she's like, I just want to get it over with at this point. She did try to put in some more work today. I have seen Ava talk more game in the last 24 hours than I have seen from her this whole entire season. And I'm not kidding. So Ava is trying to convince Vince once again to keep her. And she's saying, your best chance to win this game is against me. She's saying, like, I'm not going to have all these jury votes that you think I'm going to have. Ashley and Morgan, they both have votes locked in. I do not. And Vince is like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I can beat you in the end. I don't think so. But he does tell her he's still thinking about it. He's still trying to figure out what he's going to do. Oh my God. Just tell her you're voting her out. So Vince reports back to Morgan, and Morgan is so annoyed with the whole locked votes argument, saying that this person has locked votes, that person has locked votes, because they don't know how the jury is going to vote. And Morgan says this just makes me and you want to take each other to the end even more if, they're saying that Ashley and Ava both have locked votes. So why not just go to the end together? So yeah, sensing that her campaigning was not working, Ava was getting really frustrated and really fired up. And she told Ashley that she wants to call a house meeting to call out Vince's lies. And she's like, I've played honest this game. I've been truthful, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to drop a few truths. So she's like trying to practice some lines with Ashley. And Ashley's like, are you doing this now? Or like, because people aren't going to see this if you do this now. Like, maybe you should wait until the live show. And Ava's like, no, I'm doing it now. So Ava's planning on saying, or she's like, let's see Vinny talk his way out of this because I'm going to drop all this stuff about him why didn't you do this earlier? And she's like, I'm going to say, frankly, I don't care if I leave tonight, but Morgan, don't do for a man what he wouldn't do for you, because I never would. Really, Ava? Do I need to remind her? Do any of us need to remind her that she decided to put Vince in the freaking maze puzzle first? And she's not even like with him. That was supposed to be her biggest enemy, and she chooses him first. It's so insane to me. It's too much. So, yeah, you would. But I do agree, like, maybe Morgan should think about that. But again, I don't think it really matters for this eviction. I think it would be more of like, does Morgan take him to the final two, or does she take Ashley? I don't think it has to do with this eviction. So Ava's also saying, like, I'm going to say, I don't care if I'm leaving this week as long as you don't win, mother effer. She wants to say that to Vince. Oh, so she's getting all pumped up, getting ready to call this house meeting. And she's like, all right, here we go. And then the feed's cut before she starts the meeting. Oh my God. Cut the feeds, cut the feeds. So who knows if she has already done this house meeting and we didn't get to see it. We may never see it because it's happening right before the episode. Chances are we probably won't see it tonight. Maybe we see it on Sunday, but like they're not going to have time. There's going to be so much going on Sunday. So we may never see this. And I'm almost feeling like production was like, we need to cut the feeds before this bullshit starts because we don't need everyone complaining that this wasn't in the show. Like, if they don't see it, they don't know what they missed. So I'm kind of feeling like that's what happened because I feel like the feeds went down a little bit earlier than they normally would on a Thursday. But who knows? Who knows what's going on? Who knows if this will be enough to change Morgan's mind? Because at this point, this is all for Morgan, right? This is not for Vince. This is Ava trying to convince Morgan to use the veto and let either Ava or Ashley vote Vince out. I just don't know that I see this working though, because it's so last minute. I could totally see Morgan being like, Ava still needs to go, but moving forward, maybe she doesn't want to take Vince to the end. You know, she's going to be like, we need to talk, blah, blah, blah. They iron some things out. But I don't really see it hitting for this eviction because she waited too long. If she had said this earlier, maybe things could have been different, but she couldn't be bothered to play the game until like yesterday. So yeah. Ava is presumably going to be the one going tonight, but you never know what could happen. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm also assuming that tonight will be the start of the final HOH competition. They'll probably start part 1 tonight, which is traditionally an endurance competition, but not always. Sometimes they will change it up, but usually it's endurance. Part 2 will probably be tomorrow, and that is usually a combination of physical and mental, some sort of knowledge of what's happened throughout the season, whether it's days or, you know, match the person to the description of like, this person won 3 vetoes and was evicted by this many votes and, you know, that kind of thing. And then part 3 will play out live on finale night. And that is usually a question and answer booth competition that, you know, is about events of the season again. So we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Yeah, Christine says that Ava played the nap game. That is for sure. I want to thank you all so much for being here. And I want to thank all of our super chatters because you guys are amazing. And you are the reason for the season. So Gail Murphy Comedy, she says, almost done. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. She also says good luck in the future. Thank you. I appreciate that. Miss DJ, thank you so much. And she says, thank you for always keeping us updated. Heart, great job. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I couldn't do it without you guys. And what's up, Cupcake? Christine, thank you so much for the generous super chat. She says, Why did you get me so hooked on this? I'm sorry. Thanks for taking me through this wild ride. I can't believe you made it through the whole season. I'm very impressed. And I've said this multiple times, but I'm so sorry that this was the first season you were watching because it was kind of a cluster at times. But it is cool that you got to see Rachel at her best. It's also an interesting season to come in on with like the three nominees and the blockbuster comp because traditionally we usually just have the two nominees, and then your chances to get off the block are winning the veto or surviving the vote. So it is an interesting one for you to start with, but I'm hoping you enjoyed it. She also said Morgan just needs to win at this point. Agreed. I can't imagine her dating Vince after this, especially given her type from the beginning of the show. I know, because like remember how obsessed she was with Zach, and she like saved his toothbrush. Not only saved it, but picked it out of the garbage and saved it, and then she was, like, wearing his bracelet and putting it in her bra. So, like, look at Zach, and then, like, there's Vince. And, of course, like, you don't just have, like, one set type, but, like, from what we've heard and seen, it doesn't seem like Vince is Morgan's type. So, I don't know. I mean, this could just be, like, an in the house thing. Who knows what's gonna happen when they leave, but, like, I also don't see her dating him after this, especially, like, after seeing everything that's gone on. And I think she's the type of person who's going to feel really betrayed when she learns about Vince and Keanu's plan to try and get um Morgan to use the veto on Vince, and then they're going to do the switcheroo with the renom. I think that's really going to piss her off, because I mean, look at how upset she's been with him potentially picking Lauren over her and like choosing her for the puzzle maze and all that. So when she finds out about the veto plot and all that, and like also finds out that Vince really was planning on taking Lauren to the final two and not Morgan, I think it's gonna be hard for her to get over that. I just don't know that she's going to be able to. So I don't think this thing is going to work out. But I want to thank you all so much for being here. Are we doing Survivor? We're not covering Survivor, but we are watching it, and we both really enjoyed the premiere last night. It was a good one. Also, Dancing with the Stars has been freaking fire. I can't believe how talented this cast is. There's so many strong dancers. But all right, I'm going to let you guys go. We've got the episode tonight. So thank you all again so much. And we'll see you later for the recap. So until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.